Western Pizza guest hotline. Nick Nielsen joining us, play-by-play voice of the Prince Albert Raiders up there in beautiful Paradise. I would like to be playing a little Cook golf right now, maybe on the back nine, swinging the wrenches. But Nick, let's talk about the Prince Albert Raiders and going into this season. Just elevator pitch on this team. What can people expect for the Prince Albert Raiders this year?
Well, you want the elevator pitch. I mean, East Division champion from last year, bunch of rookies on the team that are looking even better than they were last year, and the true rookies who are coming in this season are spectacular too. I mean, we've got so much young talent to be excited about here with the Raiders this year. I don't know how you couldn't be excited to be a Raider fan this year. Justice Christensen, our captain from last year right now, gone to Detroit Red Wings camp, but he's going to be back soon, I would think. Max Heisey, who we brought in from the Penticton V's, gone to San Jose Sharks camp. He was drafted there this year. And then, Daxon Rudolph's a guy who looks like he's shaping up to be a first-round pick in the NHL draft, and that going into his 17-year-old year. Brock Cripps and Ben Harvey both look fantastic as 16-year-olds already. So, yeah, there's a lot to be excited about.
Where does Jonah Sievertson fit into this year's Prince Albert Raiders? Won the national championship with the Regina Pat Canadians, Regina boy. He was there early in the season last year. Where do you see him fitting in?
Yeah, so I'm really impressed with what I've seen out of Jonah here in the preseason, and it was last year too. His year last year was kind of an interesting one. I talked to him quite a bit because he went through, I think he was with us for about 14 games at the start of the regular season. He led us in preseason scoring last year, and again this year he's been really good in the preseason when it comes to finding the puck in front of the net. And when I talked to him, when he went and won that national championship with the Pat C's, he told me that, he kind of went back and found his confidence in AAA again. That was a big thing he felt like he was missing when he went away from the WHL back to AAA. And now that I've seen him in preseason, now that I've seen him at camp, the way he's competing, the way he's getting involved physically, I think he fits in well to this team. I still think he'll probably be, the bottom 6 area in our forward unit this year. He's still a young guy and still has lots to prove. But he's gonna provide some depth scoring touch for us this year too, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm really excited. He's definitely found his confidence from where he was last year, and I hope it translates onto the ice this year for us too.
Trade today. Regina Pats getting Dace Durkach. Fancy that. I was saying a couple months ago, and I think I maybe even asked Dale off camera. I'm like, I think it might have been actually on the show. I said, how do you make a deal with Prince Albert? What's it gonna take? Losing Dace, he had a great season last year. Come with the opposite of Jonah last year, right? He was a little bit injured, then he came in, and then Jonah came back. What is losing a guy like that mean, do you think, to the Raiders?
Yeah, I mean, you said it there. Like, Durkach was the guy who took that spot from Sievertson last year. And I can still remember the first goal he scored where we were in Brandon. I think we were down like 2-0, or maybe it was 3-0 or something like that. And he's not the biggest guy on the ice by any means, but he is the biggest heart on the ice, no question about it. He works like no other player that I've seen. The first goal that he scored was everybody else went for a line change. He goes in on the forecheck and hurries behind the net. Goaltender wasn't expecting it. Lifts a stick, takes the puck away, wrap around into the back of the net. Just one of those goals that happens because he refused to quit on a play. And that's Dace Durkach to a T. I mean, I think off the ice, one of the best human beings you'll find. And actually, I talked to Dale here the other day during a preseason game here, and the Raiders had sent him down released him from the team, and he played a couple preseason games of the Wolverines in Warman at that time. And I said to Dale, the kid like that is undeniable. He's going to be back here at some point, and unfortunately, when he comes back here to Prince Albert, he'll be wearing a different team's jersey. But he's absolutely the kind of guy you need to have on your team because he just brings so much heart, and I'm going to miss him for sure.
We were talking earlier in the show about the exodus, about CHL losing talent south of the border, but the Raiders managed to kind of bamboozle one coming the other way. What can you tell us about this kid from down south?
Yeah, you're talking Owen Korkish, I'm guessing here, who the Raiders just signed the last little bit. Actually had a great sit-down interview with him today that's going to be going up on Victory Plus, where all the WHL games are streaming this year. And really great kid. Curtis Hunt, their Raiders general manager, called him pure energy, and that's kind of what he does. And you know what we've seen from him, he played high school hockey last year, so there is always that little bit of a caveat of how is an 18-year-old kid, going to go from playing high school down in the U.S. to the faster game here in the WHL. But I don't think his speed is going to be an issue whatsoever. His ability to make one-touch plays and know where his teammates are and get the puck to them quickly and efficiently is fantastic. He's kind of slotted right now, at least what's looked like in preseason. I don't know if it'll continue through the regular season, but our top line last year was Aiden Neuring and Braden Doobie and Tomas Mercic, who is the player the Raiders lost to the NCAA. And Korkish right now is slotted in there. Doesn't have quite maybe the same scoring touch as Mercic had, but definitely has the capability to set his teammates up that is really going to benefit that top line if that's where he stays all season. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he grows too.
Did you see a lot of American kids coming up to camp with the Raiders, giving it a shot like a lot of other WHL teams?
I think we had 7 this year, which is quite a bit higher than what we've had in the past year. I think we had both guys from this year's U.S. draft and a couple of others that we brought in too.
Are you granting any media passes to NCAA scouts? I know that was a big hot button topic.
Well,
is that a question for Huntsy?
That's a question for the league, I think. Actually, I think the league's now put the kibosh on that now with NCAA scouts coming. We're on the topic though, so I'm going to bring it up. I think a lot of people are kind of freaking out about this more than is necessary. I think in the long run, this NCAA situation is going to be good, especially for goaltenders in the long run. You think about what guys are doing when they go to the NCAA now, though. Here in the WHL, you're playing 68 games a season and smaller rosters. You go to college, they're 28-man rosters. They're playing 30 games a year, so there's already half the ice time available when it comes to games on the ice. Now you're also competing with more guys to play, and you're playing against 24-year-olds instead of guys who age out at 20. I think there's going to be some buyer's remorse for some of these guys heading to the NCAA, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of them coming back this year.
Ooh, American campuses, tough to beat when you're that age. Tough to beat that. Hey, I love that strip in PA as much as the next guy, but
can't spell paradise without PA, baby.
You know it. So realistically, what would be realistic for the Pats or for the Raiders this year, record-wise, and where do they finish?
I have this team as, fighting for that 40-45 kind of wins this year. I think this is a team that's got a chance to win the division title again here. I think we've lost some big pieces last year. I think, the biggest one is in goal with Max Hildebrand, who played 50-some games last year as a 20-year-old. Obviously, that's a big piece to replace. But goaltending-wise, we're looking pretty solid with 3 goaltenders still with us right now. With a young Steel Bass who's come in, who's looked fantastic through camp. Dimitri Fortin, who won a WHL championship with the Moose Jaw Warriors 2 seasons ago and was our backup last year. He looks like he's come with something to prove here this year. And we also brought in a goaltender from Czechia and Mikhail Ursulak, who looks really good as well. And, well, he's 6'4", and that's something you can't teach, right? So, those pieces look really good. I think our young talent, our guys who are coming in as 16-year-olds are further ahead than our scouting staff expected to see at the start of camp. So I think that's going to provide a boost. And then you look at the leadership here, like our 20-year-olds who are coming back. We've still got 4 of them right now. They're all big pieces for this team here too. Justice Christensen, led the league in scoring when it comes to defensemen last year, and he was on our second unit power play. Hardly any of those were on the power play last year. So, yeah, I think this is going to be another strong year for the Raiders. All
right, before we let you go, I know you're from around that Wilkie area. The Nielsen name, the Say name, the Nielsen name. I don't know if there's anybody else actually in the area.
Don't forget the Fenricks. There's the Fenricks.
Okay.
A lot of Fenricks there too.
How about a shutout for that 83-84 Wilkie Outlaws team?
Yeah, absolutely. If you know anything about Wilkie hockey, I mean, senior hockey is king there, and back in the early '80s and into the '90s, those teams won a ton of provincial championships. My dad was a part of them. Les Nielsen, my two uncles, Lorne and Blake Nielsen, as well, part of those teams. And yeah, the '83-'84 team that's getting inducted into the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame. Pretty proud of them. I know my dad's listening in the field here near Wilkie right now as harvest's going on. So, Dad, I love you. Congratulations on another induction to a Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame, because he's in a couple for baseball too. But obviously pretty proud of it. And Joe Say, you mentioned Joe Say. He's the guy, he's the captain on that '83-'84 team too. He's probably listening in as well. So congrats, guys.
Wagon country out there in Wilkie. That's what they are. They don't rebuild, they reload in Wilkie.
Exactly.
Hey, Nicky, thanks for doing this. Let's hook up when you're in town calling the game. Best of luck, safe travels throughout the year too.
Sounds good. We'll see you next weekend.